Water. Roll call. Could people just state the name? Josh,
Joshua Lawson, present.
Steve,
Steve Carter, present.
Peter,
Peter Gott, present.
Larry,
Larry Albee, present.
and Art.
Art Payne, present.
Anybody wish to make any change of the agenda?
They spelled my name wrong once, but it happens all the time because I'm a pain.
Where did I spell it wrong? Oh, right there, first one, huh?
First one, yep, Louis.
But I looked it over. It looks good other than that.
All right, I'll fix that.
Would anybody like to move to approve the minutes of February 25th?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I make a motion, we approve them.
I'll
I
second.
made a motion, second by Peter.
Yeah,
All those in favor?
aye.
Unanimous. Regular business, financial reports. Now, Chris was here, but he just signed off. He's babysitting tonight, so. It looks good as far as his general synopsis there. Everybody's got extra money except a little shy in the harbor, but that seems to be settled out.
Yeah, and that'll be coming in now this spring. I just got the mooring invoices out, so that number will definitely increase.
Anybody have any questions on the financial reports as presented?
No,
If not, I take a motion to accept the financial reports as presented.
Motion to accept the financial reports as amended.
Moved by Josh, seconded by Steve Carter. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item is the LPA update. See what the selectmen did with our indecision from last month.
So the selectmen talked over it. We had it was an in-person meeting. They read over the requirements from the ordinance and they authorized the town manager to authorize me to sign the lease application. So that went forward. He submitted his paperwork to the state, and that'll have to come back to the planning board for review, where it's in that limited shoreline zoning area where it says no walk.
So it's still going forward.
Right now, yep. So
Why is the
Jesse
plan-
will.
Why does the planning board have to be involved?
Because it's land use ordinance. It says straight up that you can't do it in limited purpose residential.
I would think below the high tide, then it wouldn't be.
Jessica can probably explain it a little bit better than I can.
Where it's in the intertidal, it's on the mud flats. It falls within the land use ordinance. If it was further out, then it wouldn't. But where it's located, it does fall in the land use ordinance. So the planning board would review all aquaculture
Oh, okay.
applications. This one happens to be in a zone that the land use ordinance specifically prohibits aquaculture. But he's wishing to proceed with moving to the planning board at that point anyways. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
How long is it going to be at the Department of Marine Resources? They're pretty bogged down, aren't they?
Say that again, Larry.
Is it going to be a lot of time at to get approved by the Department of Marine Resources? I know they're kind of bogged down these days.
Right. I'm not sure on the timeline, to be honest with you.
but the expectation is it's going to be approved and then it comes back to the planning board.
Yep.
From what I understand. Yeah.
And the town ordinance specifically prohibits that kind of activity. So it doesn't look good for completion for the applicant.
Right. It's a yes or no box and it says no. So
Ah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
What was if it was like a mussel floats or something like that that was out in the water, then that would, they'd have a better chance of getting it, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be a totally different scenario. Same but different.
Well, thank you for that update.
Yes. You're welcome.
I don't think we have to do anything further on that.
Nope.
And now we have the application for Thurston's Marina. Is Derek going to present anything, or Mike going to be on this meeting at all? Or
Nope.
are they asking for any determination for us, or is this just a show and
No.
tell? for
So
them?
this is just to update you guys, you know, that this is moving forward. It's been over a year. They submitted this exact application to DEP, Army Corps, DMR, and us, the town. So mainly I'm looking, hopefully everybody got a chance to review it. It's pretty similar to what was last given to us. Basically, I'm just looking for pros and cons from you guys, your thoughts, so we can put a letter together from the town and send it to the DEP. So that falls within their comment period, which is due before April 16th. So
So you're looking for a letter from us stating what we feel about this application?
just your thoughts, pros and cons on it,
Yeah.
things that you guys have noticed in the application that is complete or not complete, things that you would like to change, things that you think that would work better for the harbor, just general thoughts so I can update the DEP.
Anybody have any comments they'd like to share with us?
Well,
Is there any moorings being lost in place of these ramps, floats? I mean,
As it stands with the current configuration, there would be a few, probably a couple that would have to go, I would assume. If not, definitely moved. So, and then there's two berths on the northern section that are not being used right now because we're kind of waiting to see how this plays out with the floats.
One of those must be David Farley's.
Yeah.
What was the other one, Justin? I can't picture it.
That old float that was right there in front of Thurston.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that float.
He mentions in his narrative that he's increasing berths for year-round lobstermen. He doesn't say if he's going to charge or if it's free.
He's charging.
yeah,
Definitely gonna make some money back.
I was under the impression they had to split this too, that he had to submit two different applications as two different plans now. That's what I had heard. I know he was trying to get that done.
Two
Could you
different.
say that again,
I
Josh?
had heard, I don't know because Derek's not here. I was going to ask him, but I'd heard that he had to separate this into two different things for one of his applications. I'm not sure which one it was.
I don't know. This is the one that was sent to us directly from DEP.
I wonder if he got this done and sent it to them and they told him to come back with it split. I'm not sure. It would just be
Maybe.
So it wasn't one. So it wasn't one plan. It was two separate plans, I guess, is what they were saying, because the floats are separate.
Right. Since it was two different pieces of
Yeah.
property, probably.
So does anybody gonna be affected on the restaurants? I know Travis Lump's right there on the restaurants.
Probably, well, definitely Travis, and probably Fred Thurston.
So if you're potentially losing 4 moorings, how many are you gaining here? Depends on the size of the boats, I guess.
Well, if you want to, plan for 40-foot boats, is the general in the harbor now, so
All right.
it's not a whole lot of
Not a whole lot.
gaining over what you're losing.
Mm.
I notice he indicates on his plans that he's 18 feet from the dredge line. Is he allowed to go that close?
He's
No?
he's going to run into some big problems with the Army Corps where his floats are right now. That there's the dredge line, and then there's the 3-to-1 setback, which is 18 feet in that
Yeah.
area. but he's still gonna have to set his floats inside that line, at least, you know, the max berth of, or max beam of a boat that he's gonna have to tie up to that, because essentially he's using the dredge for personal gain, and the Army Corps is not gonna go with that.
Yeah, and with 40-foot boats, the beam is often 14 or 15 feet now or more.
Right. So right. So there, he's gonna really have to go shoreward more, which probably is gonna mean dredging, and you know, in most areas. So I did mention that to Derek before, last year, I guess, when we were working on this before, but I think they're just gonna try to go for it and hope for the best, and I don't think Army Corps is gonna let it slide.
So that has to be free, open for navigation. A boat can go by there, but he can't tie up.
Right. That was federal money for everybody to use, so
Yeah.
can't just be used by one person.
So that would be one concern we would have.
Well, obviously,
Yeah, that's
Army
my
Corps goes
major
back and
concern.
says we can't do that, then it's nothing to do with us anymore, really. If the Army Corps says no, or I mean, it's nothing. We got no say, I would assume. So I guess we pretty much have to wait for
Right.
that.
Yeah, that
Looking at this plan, you asked for thoughts. I look at it over and over again, and I think about getting my 40-foot boat to the front of the dock to get bait or any. I feel like it looks awfully congested. I can't imagine how Brad's going to get to his dock, and it looks crammed to me. But
right.
I mean, if it's legal, it's legal. But I've mentioned to Derek, I think it's a horrible idea. He doesn't like hearing that, but it just doesn't look like a great idea for the harbor to me. But you know, especially this north one where it's so crammed in there with Brad and the
Right.
dock, and often
Yeah.
we're lined up at Thurston's. You know, we're waiting to get to those hoists, and the back hoist is pretty much useless if there's another big boat in front of you. And we're often out there. I would, you know, where his floated backed out in front of Brad's dock and whatnot. So that's a concern. Is at times, I suppose, it's already congested with everybody coming in trying to sell their lobsters anyway. I don't know. Like I said, we have to wait and see what the Army Corps says. Maybe they'll take care of it. But it looks
Right.
congested to me. But it's hard also
Yeah,
looking
and
at black
I
and white,
think-
you know, map.
Well, the only thought I had was, you know, if he brought that whole line of floats, the extra 10, whatever, you're saying 14 feet beam, and then a fender, 15 feet. At most tides, you could still have dinghies on the inside of that dock. And I gotta say, if I had a little 22-foot powerboat with a 150 horse motor, I would wanna talk to him about renting a space like up toward the end on the shore side of it, so he can make some money on the shore side. I don't know if he could charge more money to have punts in there or not, but he could charge me whatever he might charge for a little powerboat to be sitting off towards the end there. And, you know, I'd be willing to do it on a tide, you know, to consider the tides, so he could get some revenue out of the inside. But he's got to move the whole thing in towards the shore. I mean, it'd be nice to talk to him, just in a friendly way. And you know, any of us looking at this plan can see what the problem is. So, you know, why have him go off and waste a lot of time with this plan, which anyone can see it's not likely to work, and not in a confrontational way, but yeah, okay, sure, we'd like you to have it, but it's not going to work that close to the dredge line.
I agree with Art. It's not that I'm against them doing something with their property, and that's one of the only things they can really do there. I just am not convinced it's gonna fit in the guidelines. And like Art just said, that's, I mean, if that's Derek wasting his time, I guess, if that's what it comes down to. If, like you said, if he wants to push forward with it, we'll see what they say, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he might have a couple options. He did upgrade to
Right.
8 by 20 foot floats here, so I mean, he could drop to 6s, and you know, there's a couple different options he can do. But I assume they're just trying to go for the maximum right now and
Probably.
adjust from there. Is my best guess.
So at this point, there's no reason for us to take any action. Is that correct?
it'd be good to have something to send to the DEP so they know that we're, very well involved in the town waters. So, but
Well,
like I said, like the Army Corps line and the congestion is obvious issues. So I mean that's just just laying it out so they can already see it and expressing the concern. But
would you suggest we write something to the effect that main concerns proximity to the dredge line and the displacement of local moorings? 4, I guess we've mentioned.
Yep.
Does anybody have any other concerns they'd like to include?
And congestion too? Did you put that in there?
Question.
So. we
Now, he's
could-
gonna be running electrical and water possibly down on these.
Electrical, I saw. I'm sure on the.
There was a
mentioned-
thing there about the 5,000 gallon freshwater tank that he wrote could possibly be used at times if the current water usage wasn't already taking up what they had. It's that big cistern you put in for the restaurant because they periodically lose a lot of water pressure when too much was going on there. So,
Yeah.
And I had heard talk about another one too, so I don't know what that. But I know electricity for sure. The possibility of water.
I think electricity for sure on both, and the one at the restaurant, they were talking water, at least on that one. I didn't know where that left sewer. If these are long-term, they got water and electric, are they?
That's a good thought, Peter. Pump outs. We don't have a pump out here.
No,
Yeah, well, that's,
that would be a plus to have a pump out in the harbor, probably.
well, I don't know.
They already have to pump that up the hill anyway, don't they?
Well,
Doesn't
I don't know
Carlton-
if their system's made for it.
Carlton had one,
Yes,
Okay.
Carlton has one, but not hooked up.
but not hooked up.
That's-
And Carlton got certain privileges from us because he said he was going to, I mean, I've got a long memory here. And he claimed that there was going to be an advantage to the town because we are going to have a pump out. And he did long enough until everyone just forgot about it. But in any case, even when he applied for that fancy septic system he has underneath his parking lot, special system, pump up.
Yeah.
System, that pump out was a consideration to allow him to have that. So anyway, just so you know.
I love that you remember that stuff.
Well, I don't forget. I mean, I forget a lot, but
I wasn't around
not
for
what's
that
going
one.
on right around here.
So would anybody like to make a motion to compose a paragraph or a few sentences indicating that our concerns are proximity to the dredge line, congestion in the harbor, and the displacement of 4 local moorings?
Well, the only qualm I have about the moorings is that from the very beginning, when he talked about this, we knew, I thought it was only 2 moorings that,
Thought it was too.
okay? I
Two,
mean,
two existing and 2 that could be there.
my memory's good on that too. So he's all along complied with the expectation that 2 moorings, or we've complied with the expectation that 2 moorings would have to be moved. If it's possible, I wouldn't want to change that number unless you're absolutely certain that there's
And-
more.
I'm sorry, that float mooring that left too was theirs to begin with, and it also wasn't allowed in there anyway, was it? Because it wasn't
Right,
it?
'cause they couldn't have a
only
float
supposed to be any
in the
floats.
dredge.
So that one is kind of
Right.
gone
So I
anyway.
ended up taking that.
That one's not even an
Right,
option.
but it's a berth that's there. So,
It is a berth there, yeah. That thing was a nightmare in the way too.
I mean, it's not ideal. Right, exactly. I mean, it was
Really
definitely
was.
not ideal, but Farley's could definitely go back.
You could, yes. Yep.
So when a private citizen anchors the end of a long pier like that with crisscross moorings or whatever he's going to do, he's going to have one anchor mooring out in the dredged area. Is that perfectly okay for a private
He
citizen?
was driving,
No, he's gonna have. It's all piling.
it's all piling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all piling, okay.
Yeah, dolphin system on everything. Yeah, so he's all set there.
And the dolphins would be on the shore side.
Correct. on his property.
So you want to keep it to 2 moorings that are displaced?
I would say 3.
Three.
Settle for 3?
Travis, Fred, and David Farley's old berth. That was a 35 Mitchell Cove that was there for years. So, and like I said, I hadn't put a boat back there just because of this project. So, I mean, it'd be pretty awful to put somebody there to move them a year later.
There used to be a little more inside of David's because my brother had his skip there when he got out of high school for
Oh yeah,
15 years. That little skip was stuck in the way there, but it would be in the way of the hoist of the town dock now. Back then, it wasn't quite the same. But yeah, there was one there when he got a different boat. Whoever was the harbor master eliminated that one too.
nice.
So we just need a statement. Would anybody like to make that statement? No volunteers.
Well, I would if I could remember it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to word it. We're concerned with congestion and being in the proper setback for the Army Corps. I mean, we know we're concerned with that.
You can
We're concerned with losing the 3 moorings, but I mean, this is to show that we're involved. Should we be on the positive too, that we will get some more spots or there will be water or, especially in the winter, the electrical hookups are nice. I love being able to plug my boat in, I know, instead of having to antifreeze it every time and whatnot. Those are a service that are nice to have around. The big concerns being the
board in winter.
Yeah, and I feel like there's more call for those. Well, I guess for commercial guys, it seems like people always want to slip in the winter. I suppose in the summer they do too. It's just boats I'm not looking at. I know I tried to get into Carlton's a few years and he never had space for me. Never was able to get in there.
Yeah, he's always pretty busy.
Yeah.
Can we just make a motion that Justin writes up the letter? I think he's got the gist of what we're saying.
Yep.
Would that work?
Yep, absolutely.
We can make a motion to have Justin write up a paragraph for us.
Yeah, I'll second it.
That'll work.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on having Justin compose a letter regards to Thurston Spear? All those in favor of the motion having Justin? That's unanimous. That was a lot quicker than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So the other process for this, once this comes back from DEP, if it goes further, Army Corps and stuff, it'll have to go to the planning board, obviously, and then the planning board is going to ask for the harbor committee for recommendation and all that. So.
Right. So we will be seeing it later.
Yeah. Yep.
Next item is the Harbor Master's report.
The Harbor Master report ended up on the back of the Thurston's application. Sorry. It doesn't go with their application. I don't think they submitted it to the DEP. So hopefully they didn't.
I like you pressure wash the boat and then repair the pressure washer. That sounds like what happens to me most times too.
First pull.
First of all, they had to repair it before you watched.
Yeah, it was pretty awful. But so yeah, I got the boat maintenance all done. Painted the hull, painted the bottom, did all the teak, cleaned it up, cleaned the inside, did all my usual stuff. So
You was past your bedtime?
yeah. So did plenty of truck maintenance with the town crew. We replaced a great big hydraulic pump on the sander today and did some other custom work. Pretty excited about. Hopefully if it snows, we'll get to try it out, but we'll actually be sanding in lanes now, so that's cool. I know Peter get a kick out of that. Did a bunch of brush cleanup around town and welding. Worked on that LPA quite a bit, as you guys know. A couple more selectmen meetings with the LPA. I got notice from DEP about the Thurston's filing. Worked a few days on that, going through their whole packet with a fine tooth comb. Got the Moran bills are coming back pretty good. Like I said, you should see that in the financial reports coming up in pretty good shape. Got quite a stack of them. General hoist repair, plenty of meetings with the public about both of those topics, the LPA and Thurston's. Plenty of trash cleanup. Worked with a couple of new mooring recipients. Again, some more work on the backhoe. Bleached the ramp here. It was getting pretty green. That's all cleaned up now and should be good for people to launch boats. And review the safety committee documents. So another committee that the town manager has decided I need to be a part of. So that'll be fun. But floats will start going in the water next week. Planning to launch the north side of the ramp, get the south side out for a month or so, get them dried out and cleaned up and repaired. And then if I'm not here, I'll be working on floats in town. So if you guys need me, just call. But it'll be a pretty busy month for sure. And that's all I got.
Thank you very much. Any comments on the Harbor Master report? Any items want to be placed on the agenda for next time, which I have is 4/29, April 29th, Thursday.
4/29.
Sounds good.
You said that is going to be in person, Mel? Is that what you're thinking?
If
Okay.
it's fine with the board, I don't have an issue with it. I did before. My daughter's got a newborn at home, so I've been very careful about that. But like I said, I'll be vaccinated, so I'll be impervious to COVID-19 and ready for COVID-20.
So show of hands, who won't have 2 shots next?
Pardon me? If you want to continue to Zoom, that's fine with me too, guys.
Oh, no, I'd rather do in person.
I'll be there.
I'm not
I'd like to be in
intending
person.
to get shots anytime soon anyway, so it doesn't bother me. I do whatever. I'll put my mask on if you guys want or whatever, but
Okay with you, Josh?
yeah, I'm comfortable. I'm fine.
Steve, okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Larry?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I've had my second shot, but I won't have the 2 weeks afterwards, but
Larry, if you want to wait one more month, it's not a big deal. Don't just because we don't care. If you're uncomfortable, don't do it.
You can think about it. If you have any qualms or objections, just let us know. It's a small thing when we send out that email, whether it's in Zoom or in person. So,
okay, I'll think about it.
okay.
Yeah.
Larry.
Just let me know, Larry, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Either way, it's good.
We want
I
everybody
kind
to
of
be
gone this
comfortable.
long being real careful. I kind of hate to cheat too soon.
You never know what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
don't wait that long and then blow it right in the last couple days.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You can
And
get your
personally, I've
car.
got nothing against the computer. I don't mind sitting in my office either. It's not like I have a feeling either way. It's what everybody wants to do. I'm easy.
Okay, so as it stands now, we'll be notified the next meeting, the 29th, whether it's in Zoom or in person. Looks like it might be in person at this point in time, though. So unless there's anything else, I guess we're done.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Yep.
Have a good evening.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Just close.